Welcome to IT Live on the Inside Texas Football YouTube channel powered by InsideTexas.com. I'm Joe Cook. That's Justin Wells. That's Ian Boyd. Thank y'all for watching. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and head to InsideTexas.com. Use that first link in our description or that QR code at the top left of the screen. Join for just $1, then get 50% off for your first year. Great time to join. Camp is just around the corner. Fiscal year is a good calendar to get on when it comes to making sure you're on Inside Texas on the annual rate. So come join Inside Texas for $1 and get 50% off your first year. 1 month. Week 0 is just around the corner. Going to be a lot of fun. I am looking forward to the day when week 0 becomes week 1. I think that's going to be here before we know it, but we still have TCU in North Carolina playing in Hawaii or in Ireland. We got people flying out to the islands of Hawaii. Going to be a lot of fun. Congrats on the new pickup. Yeah, Tyler Horka joining the crew. He'll probably be doing shows like this. Veteran in a couple years younger than me. So covered Mississippi State, covered Mike Leach, covered Brian Kelly, covered Marcus Freeman at Notre Dame. Guy who knows his way around college football and the Longhorn for sure. And then going through a couple more comments tomorrow. Tomorrow's my last day. So this is one of my last Thursday. This is my last Thursday live. I'm going to miss going over schemes with Justin and Ian and going over SEC.
With Ian.
Going over SEC football with y'all because I do that article just to talk about it on here, and I love just going back and forth and talking about stuff like Tennessee and Ole Miss and, of course, Texas football. When is the book dropping on Amazon? Paul put out
Thinking Texas Football.
Thinking Texas Football yesterday. The easiest way to get it is from Smashwords. That's where you can get the digital download. Amazon prints it. I think there was details on Inside Texas about that. I think it takes a few days, and Amazon has a weird thing where it meets demand. But if you can deal with the digital copy, I read it right here every single year, usually on my flight to the first game or on the drive to the first game, because that's when you can absorb it all. So go check that out. I'll make sure Homer starts putting links to that in the description.
We'll discuss it on the deep dive. Apparently, once I read it, whenever I finish reading it, then we'll dive into some of the particular insights of Thinking Texas Football on the deep dive. So not today, but maybe next week.
I was about to say, don't you have your deep dives today?
Yeah, I haven't.
It's not today. It's not today.
Yeah, I haven't got a copy yet, so I haven't. We're definitely not going to.
I'm not even joking when I say like I read it on the way to Ohio State last year. Like that's when I read it. And part of it is because granted, I'm not the same writer as Paul is, but like I'm doing a lot of the same thing at that point. So then I want to read his perspective right before the game and get some insight maybe on what I may have missed, not only from the roster perspective, but from the team perspective, and then just the state of college football perspective. That's one of the things I enjoy. And of course, Eric goes through and talks about the recruiting class as well. So lots of good stuff in that book. And yeah, next week, training camp starts. Justin, you've had 5 offensive players. Can you give us one of the defensive players who you're really looking forward to at the start of camp?
Yes, I can. There's going to be 4 more to that up on Inside Texas here in just a bit. Guys, man, I was going to say somebody, and then I was just thinking of somebody else.
Is it Colin Simmons?
No, it's not. It's not Colin Simmons. And let's not pretend that I'm not excited about Colin Simmons, but I tried to go with guys that weren't overly obvious, and I'll give you one taste. And I think you guys know who this is. His name is Jelani McDonald. He's the starting safety at Texas. He's played in 39 games. Guy's got 110 tackles, 8 pass breakups, 5 tackles for loss, 4 interceptions. He's a multi-sport kid. I saw this kid play 4 sports in high school.
Played quarterback.
Including quarterback. I'm just so excited for Jelani because here's the thing. He's got huge shoes to fill. And even though Michael Tapp only wears 11 and a half, these are still big shoes to fill. And we understand that he was the quarterback back there. And so Jelani's got a lot ahead of him, but my goodness, if you talk to people close to the program, and if you catch up with Mr. Taft, he's going to tell you that position might get better.
The thing with Jelani and with that safety position, and I was on with our buddy Mike Craven and Carter Yates for Dave Campbell's. That'll come out in a little bit, I think this week, for a Texas preview. And they're like, what's your concern? And, you know, he asked about Muschamp, and like, I'm not concerned about Muschamp. We know that he's still got his fastball. But my main concern on the defense right now is safety depth, because last year they didn't tap into it at all. And there were a lot of different reasons for that. And Dwayne Aquina, unfortunately, is one of them.
I was about to say that group took a step back last year.
But, you know, we have a good understanding of what's there with Jelani McDonald and with Derek Williams. But behind those guys, yeah, you have a lot of program guys, but they're not as experienced as you would like. And Michael Taft and Jelani McDonald were on the field for almost every snap last year.
Yes.
So safety depth is like, and that's better than saying like starting safety. I don't know who's going to be, you know, free safety. That's the thing that has me a little bit like cautious.
And the beauty of this, though, Joe, is there's a safety in that room that used to start as a true freshman.
Yeah.
Now he's healthy. And now he's back with his coach Gideon. He's back with him Simpatico. So I'm with you, and I love Kobe Black being back at safety to kind of boost up that a little bit, because I don't know what they can expect from Jonah Williams. But that article will come out. It's going to be 5 guys I'm really, really excited about. I'll pop that out as soon as the show's over. But I want to talk about Joe's article today.
We'll do that. That'll be the last thing.
Okay.
Because I think we got Ryan Nelson over here springboarding us into a good conversation, but maybe in a little bit of a different direction than I think he wants to. And Ian, you can take this how you want.
Yeah.
This Texas offense needs the inside zone you see from Lane Kiffin's offense to really get us into an elite top 10 ranking. We talked about Sark as an offensive genius, but Lane has been the one doing top 10 offenses over the 10 years of the SEC. Ryan, I got good news and bad news. You're going to see inside zone, but this offensive line has some skill sets that may allow it to do the gap schemes pretty well, right, Ian?
Yep, an outside zone.
Outside, yeah.
They, I think that they are going to major in outside. You got that quote from Raleek Brown, right, Joe?
Yeah.
Kind of
duo and outside zone.
Duo and outside zone are a great pairing. Outside zone, obviously, everybody moves lateral. That was the game plan against Oklahoma. When they went in against Oklahoma, they're like a million different outside versions of outside zone, duo, and that's going to be pretty much it. And that was very, very effective because they pair very well. That's how like Sean McVay does it a lot. That's
it was
how
effective in the second half. It took a little bit to get going. But it got going all the same.
They moved the ball. They just didn't produce a bunch of points from it.
He got more in the second half. I'll tell you what, there was a run in the first half, like on the first drive.
Mm-hmm.
Wisner hit an outside zone run on a crease, and I was like, huh, that's promising. That's still – and then it was, it was a little dry for a minute. But today there's one other – what is that dog doing? There's one other scheme that I think we're going to see mixed in a lot more that I wrote about today, and that's the pin and pull sweep stuff.
So when you talk about pin and pull, kind of explain it pretty simply, like who is pinning, who is pulling. I know it depends on who you're choosing on that particular scheme, but what is pin and pull?
It's one of the most clearly named concepts in all of football. You're outside, like your tight end in particular is going to try to pin the defensive end inside so that he can't set a hard edge, and then you pull linemen around the tight end to lead block on the perimeter. And so ideally you're pinning down the end, and then you're pulling like both guards or a guard and a center or just a center or just a guard. And then they get to go around on the edge and just pulverize whoever's there. Probably a linebacker, but sometimes maybe like a corner or safety. And that's where, real magic happens. This is when you get Trevor Gooseby, who's actually nimble enough to get in front of a corner. And then you get to see the corner be like, man, I didn't come here for this.
And so what you start things off with, you start with the offensive linemen who have the skill set, at least last year, to be nimble and get on the move. But the thing that was missing was somewhere else in the offensive position groups.
Yeah, well, they had a few good pullers. The funny thing is that the left guard spot was not often good at pulling. Like Connor Stroh was not a very good puller for obvious reasons. He just wasn't nimble enough to find guys on the move very well. Didn't come up with Baker very much. But like it's pretty tough to run guard pull schemes if one of your guards is like not good at it. Right? It just turns you, it makes you like extremely left-handed. This year, both tackles are athletic and can pull. If it's Seymour and Baker, I haven't seen a lot of them pulling, but they're both very athletic and mobile. So it makes sense that they could be good at it. And then Connor Robertson is actually like way above average at that as a center. So that's all very promising. And then more importantly, perhaps, last year they could not run true pin and pull. They had some sweeps that they ran, some that were okay based on which guard was pulling, but they did not have tight ends that could actually pin a defensive end. So if they were facing a formation where the end was in position to set an edge and they couldn't kick him out with a guard by alignment, then it was like you just can't run those plays because the tight ends are not going to be able to block him. This year, I think Shannon can do it, probably depending on the defensive end. Masunis can do it for sure. He's been doing it for a year or two. Maybe Nick Townsend can do it too. We'll see how he looks when he's like in line this year. But he's a powerful dude and a very willing blocker. So
you would think that Nick Townsend could do it to where it has to be respected from 11 personnel. That type of thing.
Absolutely.
And that's all he needs to be able to do is make it respectable, especially if he's going to be potentially the one tight end out there.
Well, he's the one guy that can do both. He can block and catch. Like that's the one guy in that room, not the one, but like the best in that room, in my opinion.
Justin, I will say I was surprised how well Shannon and Masunis looked catching the ball in spring.
Okay.
But I'll tell you something that Townsend can do that those dudes cannot do.
Catch the football?
No, that's what I just said.
He just play fullback.
No, he's probably better at that. Run.
Well, yeah, he was a track. He
is like
early in college, so he could run track his senior year.
Yeah, he's a supremely above average athlete for the tight end position.
Yes.
And Masunis is like the bottom end of athleticism for tight end. And then Shannon, it's a little hard to tell because he's in between. He's in between. Yeah. He's more of a big
Shannon
blocker.
was a multi-sport guy too. Like Shannon was going to play baseball he was going to pitch in the majors up until his about freshman year, sophomore year in high school. And he hit a growth spurt and he's like, you know what? Football's more fun. And so Shannon's got some sneaky athleticism there. That kid could throw in the mid-90s, man.
We need to see him. We need to see him more on the like Gunnar Helm type stuff.
I don't think he's that. I think he's more mechanical, but I also think he might be a bigger, stronger version. So
Gunnar Helm was big and strong, so that's good.
So let's I got this one pulled up right here. Let me get to it. You call this a CG sweep RPO. So tell people where the run's going, what the actual RPO is, and what to look for. The ball's about to be in Arch's hands here. I have it paused, but what are we about to see here?
So the end is really wide on the top. He's outside of the tight end. Even if you wanted to try to pin him, you're never going to pin him with the tight end because he's outside of you. For Texas, that's good because that means the tight end doesn't have anyone across from him. So Jack Andrews is able to block down on a linebacker, which is a much easier job. Then they pull the right guard and the center around. The guard comes first. His job is to clear out that defensive end and kick him wide. and then the second puller, the center. I think whoever the second puller is, he lead blocks in between the down block and the. So it's just like a power sweep.
All right. And
all these sweep play. Let me say real quick. This will come up later, but all these sweep plays are really good for RPOs because you're pulling linemen to one side of the field, and then you've got like a bubble screen on the bottom. So if you're a linebacker or a safety, then you're like, which one of these two things do I respect? Do I get on my horse to get over here where their guard is pulling, or do I get on my horse to go over here where they're throwing a screen to a guy in space? And so it's two things at the same time, and it splits the defense like the Red Sea. It's really tough.
I've been playing a good amount of the college football video game lately, and I hate when this happens because I am the most anti-formation into the boundary person ever. I don't like putting 3 people, actually 4 people, into the boundary like Texas has.
You think you're clogging up the area or something?
I am. Space is what's needed for me, and I don't.
You can clog up the spots. I'm with you.
Here's another trick, Joe, when you're playing this game, or if you're just watching on TV. If it's an RPO with like a quick pass or a run, whichever one is going to the wide side of the field is probably the one the offense wants to do. The one in the boundary is probably just to distract you.
So I'm going to press play on this one.
That's interesting, Ian. I like that.
Center and guard with Jack Indries blocking down. Let's watch it happen. So, boom, he gets to and there goes Cole Hudson. So, Cole Hudson's the lead
kick
blocker.
Out by Campbell. Pretty good by Hudson. Easy pin blocks for the tight end and the tackle. It's a really good design. They don't get that much for it.
Yeah. Kind of a rough go for Baker there.
Baker, that did not help that Baker got shoved backwards.
But honestly, is that the guy on the Texans?
Though, on that play.
That guy's playing for the Texans right now, I'm pretty sure. So
also Baker more or less held the point.
Yeah.
It looks bad because he ends up on his butt. But it was not a disastrous blocker.
Oh boy. Do we really watch
this one's bad?
I'm gonna cover my
eyes. We will subject us to maybe 1 to 2 playings of this. So quarterback, second and goal, quarterback sweep is perfectly designed, and just Arch runs the wrong way on it. So
it's not that he necessarily ran the wrong way. It's that the first puller, Stroh, does not win decisively. And so Hudson is like, I got to get around. I got to lead outside. But Manning's like, I'm on the goal line. I just need to cut and get what I can. And so that incongruity is the problem.
So
if Stroh had just made a better block, then it would have been simpler for everybody.
Yeah, how many times did we say that?
A lot.
Before we keep going to this next part of it, let's pay a little bit of bills. Let's hear from Andre the Lawyer.
Texans know when you're injured, there's one name that gets results: Andre the Lawyer. Trust the team that has secured millions for their clients and helped thousands of Texans win their injury cases. Car wrecks, slip and falls, 18-wheeler accidents, on-the-job injuries, wrongful deaths. Don't let the insurance companies tell you what your claim is worth. Andre the Lawyer will fight for you. His principal office is in Dallas, but they serve Texans throughout the state. So don't wait. Call 214-444-8808. That's 214-444-8808. Contact info is in the description.
So this is a good question from Michael Welch, and I'm curious. There have been some other questions about 2-back sets. Is there a chance to use Cooper as a fullback while pinning and pulling? I don't think. I think you use Cooper as the running back for pinning and pulling.
It's intriguing because Cooper's a big guy, but that doesn't mean he needs to he can run around you. He can run past you.
The point of pin and pull is you lead block with linemen. So the key trait for pin and pull is the pinning tight end. You don't want it's not a play for fullbacks, because the guys that are going to get a running start and lead block and move are not fullbacks. They're the linemen.
Yeah.
Plus, also, what's a fullback?
Yeah, Derek Cooper did not grow up wanting to be a fullback.
But to give him credit, Derek Cooper was a really, really good inside linebacker. So if he was asked or tasked in some of that regard, I wouldn't have.
I'll give you this nugget. I don't know how many people remember, for like the last several years, Sark has this formation he likes to use in short yardage, where he'll have like a fullback to one side and a running back behind the quarterback, and maybe another running back, and just all sorts of stuff going on. But then the quarterback will turn and make a quick handoff to the fullback and just hit the middle.
You're talking about the Nick Townsend touchdown against Texas A&M in the first play in the fourth quarter.
No, that was like a sweep. I'm talking about
a sweep.
Yeah, it was. Oh,
I don't think it was a sweep, because remember, they ran the exact same play against Michigan, and Michigan was ready for it.
That was it was a 2-and-2 set. It wasn't that fancy.
But that was the quarterback literally just snapped, turn around, because it almost looked like Townsend was coming in motion in a sense.
Right.
Yeah, not that one.
This is like Wisner would be the tailback and Baxter would be a fullback.
Do we have
maybe
a play?
Niblett was running around a little bit.
I could probably find it. Yeah, okay. Jarrett Gibson did it a lot. I'm trying to remember who else. Cooper would do that, I think, a lot. That fullback dive, I could see him doing that, because I don't know if they have a better candidate for that than him, other than maybe Townsend. Or
Townsend's going to get some rushing touchdowns this year.
Jet Walker could do it, but he's not going to play. So it'd be like Cooper.
But Jet Walker could do it.
God forbid Michael Terry, maybe.
No.
I'm with y'all.
It
was not a fumble with Justin Wells. It was not a fumble, and Gibson didn't fumble on that one. It was like all the normal stuff that he would fumble on.
Yeah, he fumbled on handoffs, regular handoffs. You talked a little bit about how when Cole Hudson got moved to left guard and Connor Robertson got plugged in at center, things started working a little bit more. There's a potential that could happen, but that all depends on maybe some court system. Either way, Connor Robertson's going to be the center, and Texas this year, because of tight ends and because of just athleticism, has some guys that you're identifying as making this a potential to be a pretty strong changeup from what we're expecting the main courses to be this year, right?
Yeah. It'll be a good changeup it'll be great for like hitting the edge with a Raleek Brown or a Hollywood Smother, these like fast guys, It's great for the RPOs. Yeah, I think it's mostly going to be a changeup. It's not going to be like a all the time thing, but it could be a great changeup.
Can you run this from 12?
Oh yeah. Go ask Liam. You want to sit here?
There we go.
She's out of milk.
Hey, sunshine.
Well, I mean, that's terrible.
She's giving us side eye. I've seen that for my dog.
She's furious.
Oh my goodness! if you need to go take care of that, you go ahead.
Her brother can do it. Yeah, you can definitely do it.
A bunch of touchdowns. Because I saw Jonah's clips. I don't know if people know this, but Jonah's going to be a star.
He scored one touchdown,
and it was nice.
Did he do the dirty?
Team has scored 3.
The what? Who has scored 3?
His entire team.
Well, so that means he's a third of their offense.
Yes.
I'm sitting here. I saw the clip that Miss Cat sent. I know that Cord Samuels is already recruiting him. I know.
Yeah, Cord was trying to recruit him for his 6-year-old team down.
I'm waiting for Ian to say, "Hey, I need a strong safety so I can bring Alexander down."
I was telling Cord, I was like, Cord, here on the Maps app, I'm like, Liberty Hill is an hour and a half from New Braunfels.
So that's less than how much I drive to take my son to practice and back home every day. He can do it.
You can do it. I'm not going to do it.
No. You make Cord do it. That's
Oh,
a
make
3-hour
Cord
commute
drive
if you
up
want
to
to
get
win
him?
games.
Okay, that's an interesting idea.
There you go.
Is that that's the UIL I hear calling?
There's no rules in these rec leagues.
That's true. There's
You
only
stack your
emails
team.
from mad parents.
So you kind of identify all the different running aspects. This will factor in on RPOs a good amount, and we see. I hate this, but we see Texas pull guards for pass protection, which it's annoying, but I understand why they do it. As far as the receivers go in these RPOs that you'll see, what does this do anything different for them, or is it just like, okay, we can have RPOs on this?
Yeah, just it's good for normal bubble screens and now screen, all the like perimeter screens that people love or hate. It's really good for those. It's maybe arguably better than like inside zone or counter, because what I said about how you're moving the point of it when you pull linemen, you're telling linebackers, I got to get over there. My gap just moved way over there, and if I don't get over there fast, I'm going to be at the mercy of this 300-pound dude with leverage, and it's going to be really bad for me. And so that tends to separate the defense more effectively and then make it harder for them to, be in two spots at once.
I'm excited for this. I think this will work pretty well this year. And, a lot of it also depends on the quarterback. Arch has to make the right reads in true RPOs. I think he's gotten more and more of that on his plate.
He's got to make those throws too.
Yeah, because that's what Quinn was fantastic at. And Arch still good at it, but not to the level of Quinn Ewers. Here's a good comment from our guy Williams David. A lot more concerned about usage and schemes. Sark has not done a great job of using all his skill talent on offense. Raleek Brown and Hollywood Smothers need to rotate equally. I hope there's not significantly more usage of one over the other. I'd like to see both get 150 carries and 1,000 yards. I would like to see both get 150 carries and 1,000 yards, because that means a lot of explosive runs.
Okay, cool. All right, Big Red.
But
you're not going to get that much out of Raleek Brown.
Why not?
Why not? I'll tell you why. Because Raleek Brown's first carry to his 12th carry is his optimal. Go look at his numbers. His average from the first carry to the 12th carry is pretty standard, pretty average. Anything after 12 to 15 is bad.
Really?
I think that's okay.
And I also know this talking to Arizona State coaches over the spring.
Have you written on this? That's really interesting.
Explosive. But as the game goes on, he does not get stronger. He has a punch tag. And if once you hit him enough times, we're done. And you got to take him. You got to take him off the field.
Do we have an article on this? Have we broke that down?
I think we've been pretty forthright about
talked about this pretty openly since they brought him on.
I think we've talked about how it's going to be pretty 1A, 1B.
Right. Smothers, I think, is going to be more of your bulk guy.
We could look that up, though. We could pull those numbers.
What his yards per carry gets to.
Yeah.
Not
right
once
now.
Once he hits the 15 carry mark, I've been told I wouldn't give him the ball again.
I think you're being this. I think what you're saying may be received negatively.
It could. No, I'm not trying to be negative at all.
But I think it's true. And that's even for somebody who was
honest.
Yeah. And that's someone who was a 1,000-yard back a little bit more by necessity. It's not because Arizona State was like, this is our best player, we got to get him the ball. Like Jordan Tyson went down.
If Blake Bryant's numbers are correct, that justifies partly what I'm saying.
Yeah, like Jordan Tyson went down and Sam Levitt got hurt. Like
exactly.
They had to ride him.
He is a home run hitter.
Yeah, they had another running back that was going to be their starter who got injured in the first game.
Yeah.
He wasn't even the starter. He was, you know what they kind of viewed him as? A gadget back. a Keelan Robinson type back. He's not going to get 1,000 yards rushing, guys. That's not who he is.
He did last year.
That's not a knock on Malik Brown, but that's not the running back he is. He's more of a gadget back, catch it in the space, get the ball out and open. You give him the ball 8 to 12 times a game, Malik Brown is going to kill it for Texas. You go over that 15 carry mark, you're playing with dynamite, because then you get to go look at the fumble history after the 15 carry mark.
I think, yeah, I get what you're saying, and I think it's true, and that's why they have both, and that's why they have Derek Cooper, and that's why they have.
That's why they have all of those guys. Joe just killed it. Yes.
Yeah, like
that's why they brought in all those guys. If they thought Raleigh could do that all themselves, there's no reason to bring Smothers with him.
Yeah,
I'm gonna look this up, and I'm gonna steal y'all's content for an article later.
Hey, go right ahead.
Ian, I thought you and I had talked about this before, because we're still
maybe, but I don't feel like
we're still connected to a lot of those Arizona State guys.
Yeah. But we could. I mean, I can look it up, and then we'll have the numbers to show people, and that'll be interesting.
And again, don't make it look negative. Like I'm not trying that. I'm telling you, 8 to 12 carry Malik Brown.
No. Here's the framing.
Dangerous. Like that's a dude that can win ball games for you. Okay.
Let's take everybody behind the curtains. Here's how you frame it. Why Derek Cooper could be primed for opportunity in 2026.
I'm about to pull up Raleigh Brown's game log from last year.
You can't, but you got to go carry by carry.
I know, and that's going to be tough.
Well, I'll do it later.
The most attempts he had 3 games. Oh my gosh. He had 3 games where he had more than 20 carries. One of them was TCU. He got 134 yards at 6.4 a clip. One of them was against Baylor, 80 yards, 3.8. And then he ran through a Colorado team that had quit, had multiple explosives, 22 carries, 255, a rushing touchdown and a receiving touchdown. So
Homeboy can score. And if you keep it within that 8, 12, 13, 14 range, that's where he's optimal. Some running backs get better after the 15th carry. They get better in the 17th, 18th, 20, 22nd carry. But we've seen what can happen to running backs when they're given the ball too much. And I'll never forget Deontay Foreman in Texas, in Lubbock. Like giving the ball too much. Or not Lubbock, Kansas. It was at Kansas.
50 times.
50 times. Because what happened the 51st carry? They fumbled and they lost the game.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't all Deontay Foreman's fault.
No. I'm saying if you think handing the ball, these guys all have limits on how they're all different. Some running backs get better as the game goes on. Now that we've had this running back by committee infiltrate the NFL, college football, high school football, and everything like that, I think that's why you're seeing more guys being able to space guys out, to utilize guys in different formations and different things, and not wear kids out.
I'm with you.
I just asked Grok to do this research for me.
Oh God.
And it was like, sorry, that data is not available. And I'm like, yeah, Grok, you got to go through the play-by-play, so I don't have to. And then we'll see what Grok says to that.
Hey, Rex St. Charles is on it. You got to go AI shopping. Go
AI shopping. Yeah.
To all the different ones.
He's right.
He's Claude for that. I guess one more good comment from Williams David. Does James Simon get involved here? I don't think there's enough to go around for Simon to really get carries, especially if Cooper
case of an injury. I think
I got to stop resisting these data centers. Grok keeps telling me I don't really want to do that. That's a lot of.
Well, as long as they don't take my Lake Palestine water, I don't care.
He's trying to avoid the work because y'all won't just let them build these freaking centers.
Oh man. The content.
Let's steer the.
We need those data centers so I don't have to dig through play-by-play data, people.
The content mine is becoming an interesting place these days.
I don't want to go down there anymore. I want to send AI into the mine, bring me back the coal so I can burn it up.
Bring the canaries with them too.
Life in 2026.
Yeah. Anything else on running backs or some of these 2026 schemes or we want to get to some retrospective?
Let's dip our pen in some nostalgia.
Actually, I know what I wanted. Justin, let's go through your other 4 defensive players who you're pretty excited to see during camp. So you mentioned Jelani McDonald. That's the one. Who are let's go. Who are the other four? Because I know you've been working on that and getting that ready for this.
I'll give you a little bit of taste. Ian Giffard, man. Okay, I mean, you see him on tape. He's bigger than others. You see him in person, and it's overwhelming. Like Zion Williams is a big human being. And Ian's quite a bit bigger. Like, and I'm just thinking, how the hell are the interior linemen going to handle that guy? Like, he's going to be the guy that can take two and it completely just annihilate what you want to do inside. Like, I think at Arkansas, he was almost too good to be there, to be impactful. When it comes to Texas, I think he's going to be huge. I'm big on him. And then a couple Georgia guys. Let's talk. I'm excited for Tyler Atkinson. If you're not excited to watch this heat-seeking missile of a linebacker, who I don't know if you remember his clips from spring, looks like a college junior already. And so I'm super excited about the Peach State kid and Justice Terry. Like, how can you not be a little bit excited? He's finally healthy, guys. Last year, he had some elements that kept kind of dinging him up and stringing him along, and he wasn't able to play them. Just basically, I think he played a little more than 10 games. Everyone, if you're not excited about Justice Terry, because that's a guy that I think is going to be versatile inside, defensive end for outside, some for edge. Like, this guy's going to be able to do a lot of different things. Those were four. There was one more I had.
Jelani.
I had Jelani already. Okay. My last one, I kind of went back and forth on this one, and I went with Grayson Littleton. And the reason why is because last year he was more of a surprise. I mean, we knew about him because of camp, but the world didn't. And he become an All-American, freshman All-American. I think he's confident now. And if you've seen him in some interviews and if you've seen him during summer, clips and stuff, he's gotten bigger. And we're talking about a smart, driven, focused type guy that did pretty well against Jeremiah Smith in coverage last year. Not saying he held him. I'm just saying he did pretty well for an 18-year-old. I'm excited to see what Grayson Littleton does with that star position, because I feel like at some point he'll go from star to corner if it's needed, because I think he has those intangibles. I'm excited about Grayson Littleton very much. And and I'll have an honorable mention, and you'll have to come to InsideTexas.com to get the rest of that, because there's a couple other ones that I'm really excited about too. And I guarantee you these two jokers both thought I was going to throw somebody East Texas in there, but I'm excited about 5 or 6 more. So come see.
Hey, real quick housekeeping. Justin, don't use up your Claude. I finally got Grok to calculate it for me.
Okay. Tell me.
Okay. Assuming that Grok did this right, 6.8 to 7.2 yards per carry on the first 9 carries of the game, and then down to 5.4 to 5.8 on the 10th carry and beyond.
That's not that big of a jump, though.
That's a big jump.
Oh, it is? Okay.
That's over a yard per carry. And when you combine that with them not wanting to push him past like 15 very often, that definitely confirms what you're saying.
Well, Coach Sarcasm, I think, got the wrong. His Grok told you the exact opposite.
The carry by carry basis is a differentiator here.
Yeah, it is.
Well,
the point actually stands. Just keep him within his limits.
Yeah.
That's all I was saying. Just keep him within his limits.
His second half numbers were a little better than his first half numbers, which would make you think that his later carries were still good, but they weren't.
Right.
It's just that he wouldn't get to the 10th carry until the second half.
It's the timing of the usage.
The timing of the usage, and also, honestly, whenever his big run happened, right? Because the
big runs are the one, and that's what Texas got him for, and that's what he's going to do. This kid's going to break off some major runs, and that's what he's there for. He's not a ground and pound kid, obviously, and he's not a kid that you want to get. You don't want him hit more than 14 or 15 times a game. That's my point.
I think that's a good one. Gonna go with a little bit of grab bag stuff here. This is good. Texas Hall of Honor just announced some football guys. Big Malcolm Brown definitely deserves it. Jackson Jeffcoat, Mike Williams, Lawrence Sampleton all going in the UT Hall of Honor. I'm surprised it took this long for Mike Williams.
Me too.
He is, one of the earliest drafted offensive linemen ever for Texas. Jackson Jeffcoat, Malcolm Brown, Obviously, those guys are All-American defensive linemen. Jackson Jeffcoat, I'm probably pulling this out of thin air. He may be one of the best Canadian football defensive players ever.
You're not pulling it out of the air. It's true. Like he's going to go to the CFL Hall of Fame.
And he won, what was it? The Hendricks Award that's given to like the best defensive end or something like that. He won an award. He just didn't have draft measurables. Malcolm Brown, first round pick, longtime NFL stalwart. I think he's the head coach of, what is it, St. Dominic Savio up in Georgetown. So he's coaching football.
You're telling me big Malcolm Brown is a head football coach?
I
Private
believe.
school?
Yeah, at the Catholic school up in Georgetown.
Wow.
So,
Interesting.
Lawrence Sampleton. That's a name I'm not totally familiar with. I'm looking at the little press release that Texas put out, and I think he had a lot of receiving records from the 70s, late 70s, early 80s. So he was one of Fred Akers' top receivers. There's some other big time names on the Texas Hall of Honor, including maybe one of the best athletes to ever come out of the University of Texas, and Ryan Krauser, who I think shot put. I think he basically has written the top shot put marks of all time. Like they basically all belong to him, I believe. Other ones that are pretty notable: Connie Clark, the first softball coach, helped Texas make that a sport here in Austin. So longtime head coach there. She's going into the Hall of Honor. And then Garrett Weber Gale, he's a swimmer. Mark Boswell, track and field, 2-time Olympian, 5-time All-American, 4-time NCAA high jump champion. That's pretty impressive. Going down, Kat Bell from volleyball, national champion. Blair Luna from softball, All-American. Ivwala Munn from women's basketball, Amy Shaw and Janet Walker from swimming and diving, and then tennis respectively. So lots of Longhorn royalty there. And, you know, again, Mike Williams, that one's surprising because he went on to have a pretty lengthy NFL career.
Yeah, he played, I think he wound up playing for probably 8 or 9 years. I think the Buffalo Bills drafted him maybe the 3rd pick.
He's either 3rd or 4th, and then Jammer was right behind him, right?
Who was?
Jammer.
Jammer was the 6th pick. I think Jammer was the 6th pick to San Diego, if I remember.
Williams was 4th overall.
4th to Buffalo.
Yeah.
Jammer was 6th overall, I think.
And I'll find it. Just give me a second.
But Mike Williams was one of those guys that I can't remember the exact time, but I think he was one that Mac Brown inherited. I don't know if he actually recruited him. I think he was one of those big guys Mac Brown might have inherited, like an Antoine Kirk Hughes, which I think he had some recruitment in that. But that was one of those. I think he may have been a carryover a little bit. But Mike Williams, I mean, with that line with him, Kirk Hughes, with Leonard Davis, like you were talking about we talk about large humans. We haven't seen them really that big since to be, I mean, pound for pound across the line. So Mike Williams accidentally hurt Cedric Benson.
Okay.
In the Big 12 championship, Benson's freshman year, it was the 3rd or 4th pick that Chris Sims threw. And so, you know, Baxter's running out to go make the tackle in space. And so is Mike Williams. And Mike Williams accidentally crack blocks him and knocks Benson out of the rest of the season. Benson didn't play in the Holiday Bowl. Victor Ike had to wind up starting. Actually, I think he run back a kickoff. Victor Ike did in that Holiday Bowl. But yeah, Mike Williams, that was an accident. That was collisions in a collision sport. But yeah, Mike Williams accidentally cracked back Cedric Benson. Benson was done.
That was about when most of us were done with Chris Sims.
And he came back for another
I was
year.
in the stands, and I can tell you there was a lot of the crowd that was by that time.
He threw a pick 6 that led to that because they were in pursuit on the pick when they ran into each other.
Yeah, it was an accident.
And then Major came in and immediately started throwing bombs.
If Major Applewhite would have had 20 more seconds, or if Philip Giger doesn't run into the punter on 4th down, Texas wins the Big 12 championship. Mac Brown wins the Big 12 championship for the first time. They go to Pasadena
and get smoked by
hell beat out of them by Miami.
Don't blame Giger. It's not Giger's fault.
It's exactly Giger's fault.
If
Ian Boyd, if you run into the
I'm
punter,
not hearing Giger slander. He lives around here. He's a great guy.
I'm not slandering Philip Giger. I'm not saying he got torched by Braylon Edwards on 3 separate occasions in that Rose Bowl. I'm not bringing that up.
Everybody got.
I'm not bringing that up. He's single-handedly made Braylon Edwards a first-round pick. That's good. He's made other people money. I'm talking about that game. If he doesn't run into the punter, Texas wins. You know it. I know it. And everybody in the stands knew it. And plus, I got buddies at Evangel. Philip Giger is still very highly respected. Okay, Giger's a man, but I'm not going to change my mind on the stuff I saw.
I'm going to go get him, and we're going to pull up in Tyler.
Oh God, that's the last thing I need.
Real quick before we start talking about good games, that 2002 draft, it's a peak naming some dudes. You go David Carr, Julius Peppers, Joey Harrington, Mike Williams, Quentin Jammer, Ryan Sims, who I don't really remember.
That was a defensive lineman.
Bryant McKinney, Oklahoma Roy Williams,
tackle.
Oklahoma Roy Williams,
Cowboys.
John Henderson, Levi Jones, and Dwight Freeney on the top 11.
John Henderson, I had a buddy that played with the Titans. John Henderson, one time, when they go in the locker room, a lot of times they compete with what they've bought that week or the last few weeks to that month. Like it's a competition. John Henderson come in and says, I got y'all all beat. I just spent $4 million on a pig farm. And everybody looks around like, yeah, you're from Tennessee, aren't you? You're from Tennessee. And he's like, I'm going to raise those pigs. John Henderson, that massive man, dropped $4 million on a pig farm. You know what? I bet he made his money.
I'm sure he saw a return on his investment. Oh,
if
man.
You did. Yeah.
All right. This is my last Thursday live. I'm publishing.
Give you the floor.
I'm publishing something later this afternoon, and I picked the best games that I've gotten to cover. So the time frame is 2016 season on, because I was in school from 2012 to 2015, and there are a handful of games that I missed because I wasn't covering them. Actually, Justin, you were covering Oklahoma 13, Oklahoma 15, Baylor 15 and 16, Notre Dame 16, and USC 18. So those are eliminated from my discussion. What do y'all think my number one pick for best game I've covered was?
That's easy. Texas at Alabama.
No, that's number 2.
You got one better than that?
Yeah, the 4th and 13. And that wasn't a good game.
I was about to say, I'm thinking good game. Texas could have won that game by 35 points if like 2 things go different. So, but I'm with you. It's exciting. I mean, one play you're in, one play the season's over. Like I can't argue that. But buddy, the Texas win in Tuscaloosa ushered in the Sark era that we're in now.
That's on my list. I actually haven't ranked. I haven't really ranked them. But that's the number one. That's number one, and everything else follows.
What else you got?
I'm going to go to 2018. I've actually got 2 games from that 2018 season.
Red River Shootout. That was an awesome one.
Yeah.
It should have been a blowout, and they let Kyler Murray scat back into the game.
They didn't let Kyler Murray. That's the problem.
No, you're right. No, I know.
It was so hard to catch.
Kyler was crazy in that second half, man.
That'd be my number one, probably, if I were you.
That's up there.
Okay, there's a second game from that. I'm trying to remember what the next best 2018 game was. These are wins?
Sugar Bowl, because that ended that season.
Oh, that's the game Joe and I both covered.
Yeah.
Man, I completely forgot. When we were talking about this the other day, did you have that on your list already? Because I never even thought of that game.
That was on there.
Joe, Justin blocked it out of his memory because Uga almost got gored.
You realize I felt the wind of the horn. I'm in that video. I love that. And I'll never. Yeah, I'm literally standing beside Taylor Gaspar and Danny Davis I'm in the like middle of them, and we see the horn like swipe through us. And I've lived on a dairy farm, so when I see a bull do that, I'd automatically start to step back. Like I've been to this rodeo before, and so I'll never forget it. As soon as it happened, there's like a big rush of everything. Danny Davis takes off for the press box. I'm like, Danny, where you going? He goes, I'm about to go viral. And he took that video, and that sucker went like 1 million clicks in 19 minutes or something. Yeah. And so, I didn't forget any of that. I love that game. That was a fun atmosphere. That was a good time, man.
Here's another little thing. That 2018 season, I had TweetDeck, and so basically I would put all the Texas players on a list, and they did like a "we're not tweeting at all" thing during the season, uh-oh.
Well, she needs an appearance, Joe.
Oh, she's about to go swimming.
Well, she needs a final appearance.
Hi,
Miss Polly.
So all the play. Hey, Justin didn't see it last week. Can you say hook 'em? Can you say hook 'em? Hook 'em?
Hook 'em.
Hook 'em.
She's like swimming pool, swimming.
All the players like stopped tweeting that year, and
I
then
remember.
they all saw Danny's tweet, and like they all retweeted it before the game.
Well, you remember Sam told me when someone had come in, because Texas was like 4 or 5 minutes from coming out onto the field.
Yeah.
And someone had gone in there, and Sam's like, someone came in here and just told us the bull attacked the dang bulldog. And he said there was nothing Herman could have said after that point. And it was just like, all right, let's go. It was a no-brainer. It's like, no more speech. Go. The bull Bevo's out there throwing hands with Uga. We're ready. We're ready. And buddy, it sure was a fun night, fun atmosphere, and a fun adventure.
Is she in here again? Oh,
I think I just found.
She just went out the door. Like she's headed to the pool, Joe.
I know.
Justin, were you wearing a sports jacket for that? I think I found you in the video.
Yeah, because there was a video that Chris Bennett caught on Sports Center when we were walking towards the stage for like the trophy and stuff like that, and Sam Ellinger like comes out of nowhere and gives me this like gigantic hug.
Oh man. What else was there? I'm going in season order. I know these games aren't in order. Oklahoma 2022.
49-0.
49-0.
That game was so fun and unfair at the same time.
There was a sense, because of what had happened the year before, that even up big Tech, I sensed it, I felt it, and Texas fans were like, that scene in Braveheart, hold, like they weren't ready to start. And then I think once it got to 35-0, it's like, okay, this one's done. Like there is nothing happening.
Was that the game Micah Hudson and Colton Vosick were in the stands for Oklahoma, and they went over to the Texas fans midway through the game?
I think.
Remember,
so.
Micah Hudson gave me that. I'm texting with Micah Hudson during the game, and he's like, "I got to get out of this Oklahoma crowd," because I want to say Oklahoma was the host, was the home team, and was the host. Yeah. And so, midway through the game, I'm like, "Guys, this 5-star number 1 receiver just left Oklahoma's stands to go sit with someone else's stands," and it was him going. I think Boschick did the same exact thing.
Yeah, and I think Boschick was visiting Texas about like a week later. So it was.
Well, after that game, it started to snowball that, hey, this is probably a flip that's going to happen.
Moving on down the line, Alabama, as you said, that's up there. That has to be included. Oklahoma State 2023 Big 12 championship game. It's weird because I think we look back at that Oklahoma State team as it was the last good Oklahoma State team under Gundy, but like that team was just Ollie Gordon and friends, and there wasn't a whole lot to it. They put up some points after the game was out of question, but like Texas whooped up on what was the second best team in the Big 12 that year.
They weren't that great. They were riding. I mean, Ollie Gordon was getting 30, 35 carries a game, felt like.
They had some other stuff. They had a good defense
too. Didn't they have the Rodriguez kid that starts for the Detroit Lions at middle linebacker, Malcolm Rodriguez?
Yeah, they had him. They had
guys, but it wasn't your. I'll say this: it wasn't your 2010s Oklahoma State team that Texas would often face.
Yeah,
they had a couple of receivers that were decent. Who was quarterback for that team?
It wasn't Mark Bowman. It was it's somebody who wasn't that good.
It wasn't Gundy.
No,
I can tell you in just a second.
Gun.
It was, who's their quarterback? Come on, Alan Bowman.
It was Alan Bowman, the dude they out for Tech. The redhead Grapevine went and played at Michigan too. Didn't he play for like 5 or 6 schools?
Tech, Michigan, Oklahoma State.
3.
Yeah. I forgot he went to Michigan. Golly.
That was the first one, right?
That was his first
because
transfer.
That was his first transfer, okay? Because I remember he was committed and signed with Tech.
He was the Tech quarterback that threw the horns down in 2020 when they were up 2 scores, and then they came back and lost.
Yeah, that's what I meant. That's what I meant by the guy doing that. That's what Bowman was known for. Big red.
Yeah.
They had Colin Oliver on defense, and they had Brennan Presley, who
Presley was a kind of a pain in the butt.
Yeah, he beat Jahdae Barron a couple. He beat an injured Jahdae Barron a couple times on like 1 million attempts, and then led to this whole stupid offseason of us trying to insist to our people on the message board that Jahdae Barron was in fact a good player and not trash, even though he'd given up like 3 catches on like 15 pass attempts to Brennan Presley in the Big 12 championship game. People were like, no, he's not going to be a good corner. He got torched at nickel by that little Oklahoma State guy.
Yeah. And then just the whole day was incredible because that was the early game. Yormark getting booed, Sark having to calm people down, the Undertaker presenting the trophy because it was the WWE like sponsored Big 12 championship.
Yeah.
And then like I stayed at an Airbnb like a stone's throw from AT&T Stadium. So I walk back, I'm done with work. I like hit the gas station and I'm sitting down and watching Florida State and Louisville. And I'm kind of resigned to the fact, like, they're not getting in. Like I was not all that confident that they were going to get into the playoff, go from 7-3, but Georgia losing, and then Florida State having Jordan Travis, all that stuff happening. That was just it was made for quite a fun Sunday morning trying to scramble to pick up what's it called, Sugar Bowl passes.
And Bennett reminded me, Derek Williams laid some wood in that game and got ejected for targeting. I do remember that. That was I think that was actually really early in the game too. It was
on the opening kickoff of the second half.
Okay, yeah.
Which screwed everything because then you're missing the next game. All right. The other one from 2023, and Paul and I have had a lot of conversations about this game. It's that Kansas State game. And I know there was a lot of Texas kind of coughing the game away just because Malik Murphy and Kansas State being pretty good that year with Will Howard. But that finish that may be one of the best games in the history of Memorial Stadium. And it was consequential because Texas loses. Okay, I see you smirking. Ian, anytime Texas usually faces a good team, it's in Dallas and not Austin, especially in the era of the Big 12 and in the Southwest Conference. It's going to change in the SEC, but like if Texas was playing highly ranked teams, it was normally in Dallas. That Kansas State team, I think, was in the teens. And if Texas loses that game, they're not going to the playoff. It was one of the most important games in the history of the school.
Is that the one where Tavondre Sweat got the sack to end the game?
Yeah. I don't think anyone is going to remember it that way, though, Joe.
Well, here's the thing. Isn't that a game where Texas was blowing them out in the first half, and then Kansas State kind of methodically came back in the second half? And they'd made like a couple big plays here and there, and then all of a sudden they're in the
Yeah.
Yeah, she's been watching and listening to that Taylor Swift song. My last one is
child abuse.
The first, it's the first time I left home from her was that A&M game in 2024. Like there's never going to be anything.
You and I were at that one together too.
Yeah, there's never going to be.
You know, it was a better game in DKR than the Kansas State game.
What?
The A&M game last year.
I agree.
Yeah, but I think Joe
This is
doesn't
my
want to
list.
give too much credence to beating a team that Texas has beaten like 79% of the time in their life.
That's true. Kansas State don't have a million wins over Kansas State.
Oh man, that's my list. I got to take this girl to a swim lesson. I appreciate everybody tuning in. I appreciate y'all. We did this for the past couple of years. We got the deep dive later. I'll be on Inside the Program tomorrow, so one more show with me. Thank you all for watching. Make sure you head to Inside Texas. Use that first link in our description. Use that QR code. I appreciate everybody for helping me go through some of my favorite 2020. My
Mr.
favorite.
Beef remembered Jelani's 2 15-yard penalties. He was raged up last year. I'd forgotten about that.
Everybody join me and Justin for a slow clap for Joe, for Coach Joe Cook.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Y'all are handling this a lot better than I am, so I'm not going to say anything else.
See y'all next
Everybody's
time.
handling this so happy and so great, and it's like,
Hey, and like I told Sneezy, I'm not dying. Like, I'll be around, but just may not be on YouTube as much. So see y'all later. Appreciate it all over the years, and make sure you go to Inside Texas.